Hi, welcome back to the channel, TrainStation 2. Alright, going to prepare for the last competitions with all the EP starts and of course warehouse as well as factory all ready. This will be the last for this Japanese event. It has been really a tough event to basically play about because end of the day, not being doing really well in the latest competition where I got a third place, and of course along the way got a second as well. So end of the day, I think really important that we got to prepare ourselves as one. I mean, that's always the case, I think, in preparations, and of course with a good EP head start is really important as well. And with the event, we will realize that a lot of this paper is needed, so please have a good amount of paper, and as well as rice if possible, but definitely paper first. Alright, done in the warehouse, and at the end of the day, if possible, build up all the populations in order to increase the warehouse. I always have an issue with a warehouse that basically makes my life a bit tougher. Had I have a bigger warehouse in competitions, definitely is so much better, because with the limited warehouse spacing, even though we wanted to prepare, there's no place for us to place them. So that is always the issue. I mean, if you have really huge warehouse, had you place all the event items in your warehouse, and there's no need to actually manufacture them, especially for the short 2 days competition itself. So this is the one of the reason why certain players with a huge warehouse can actually win competition easily, because there's no need to make them, because they already have all the items. Of course, unfortunately, if you are like me with a tiny warehouse, then you really got to make full use of all your factories in terms of the input and output trays itself, whereby you store the manufactured goods as well as the raw materials, which can be then converted back to the ideal raw materials they require by cancelling the order of the manufactured goods itself. And of course, as and when you earn those coins and parts, please do so and upgrade the trains, because at the end of the day, every single upgrade increase on capacity. Sometimes you know that it's quite frustrating, especially when you make a delivery and you know that you need one more trip just because of that one or two items that wasn't delivered. So increasing capacity reduces that issue, but of course it's really an expensive activity to do so. Another thing to do is really to collect those blue maps, because at the end of the day, you need a lot of blue maps to basically upgrade your building. And where to get them? Definitely from this ship trade. So do remember, ship trade is a must to do if you have really got the time. Unless you're already fighting neck to neck to competitions, then you haven't got that breathing space. Yeah, of course that wouldn't be possible. But if, let's say, during peacetime like this, while preparing for the competition, you should definitely do your ship trade in order to increase your collection of those blue maps, because having not insufficient blue maps itself, your population increase plans may be stalled, because at the end of the day, a lot of them do require blue maps, and of course with that, then you can increase your warehouse spacing. As you can see, what I'm trying to do is really to maximize my warehouse spacing by eliminating those unwanted items. Like for example, we know that making salt, we need 60, so I'm just going to size it out to 120. Just now you can see the raw materials there. So of course along the way there will be other things that I'm not really require, like this milk. I just gotta remove them, because at the end of the day, there isn't much of those space that allows us to do so. I think with a new item that we can do right now is the bread, and I think making bread would be ideal to store in the warehouse, given the fact that you take an hour to make a batch of them. So you're gonna take an hour to bake bread of 120 loaves of bread. So if I have all this bread prepared basically for the competition, in the competition itself, they do ask for bread, and you can just grab and go. Definitely, I think that will cut down many hours of waiting time. So this is something I think we gotta do bear in mind. Do make sure you have all those very long hours items get ready in the output tray of your factory. So that's really one of the strategies I always apply. And of course, if you ask me what would be something I'm going to do in the next event, I would say based on the so-called experience, throughout all events, including these Japanese events, is definitely try not to complete 100% of the event map, because end of the day, the sooner you complete, the worse it becomes. So of course, it's easy said than done. Sometimes it's a matter of forgetfulness. Sometimes it's a matter of desperate. You may just want to grab those EPs because you know that you're losing the competition. But again, if you think a long run basis, had you not grabbed that last job, you will be basically be able to use a lesser number of deliveries of items, and you may even climb that ranking chart. So definitely there will be people who actually start at 99% by not doing the last job in order to win competitions. But of course, on the other hand, you may be thinking that you're in a dilemma. You want to claim those event keys to claim all those fantastic trains for the event. So definitely there's basically two choices, I would say. Either you want to win competitions to get those fantastic legendary train, or you want to just claim the other event trains, which is using event key. So you can have both if you're really good in terms of having a good warehouse, really fast and big so-called delivery and big trains, then why not, right? And of course, if you're those with lots of gems, of course you can get more, of course. So that being said, I'm just a free-to-play player, so having a lot of gems is definitely not possible for me. I'll always be having a very tiny amount of gems, and getting an additional dispatcher will have basically drained my gems collection. As you can see here, the gems level is really low, so given the fact that I already collected that Samurai Legendary Train, I'll be more chill in terms of the last competitions. I'll just go to prepare whatever I can, and of course I do not have the sufficient gems to engage additional dispatcher. I will just run with 8. So I think it'll be a long event, it'll be 3 days event competition, but nonetheless I'm just going to prepare whatever I could. So for me, I think end of the day, whatever we claim from this competition, we all convert it to gold, because conversion to gold would then allow us to upgrade our existing fleet. And I'm not going to collect any more trains here, because I know that eventually I will get collecting a few more so-called event trains. Hopefully I'll get one more epic. If not, I'll just get a rare and common. But what I'm trying to say is that I'm not going to use those keys, those meta keys, for opening a 100 keys container, because I'm going to save up, because very soon, I think another 40 levels, I'll be going to the next region. So it's time and ideal for me to save at least 2,000 to 3,000 keys before I embark at a new region. So this is something, a time to save. When would it be a good time to save? Definitely once you cross the mid mark. So for example, for myself, roughly 250, I should start saving for the next 50 levels, so that when I go over to the next region, definitely we have more than sufficient those metal keys. And this is something you got to bear in mind. Not only you need that, you need parts, you need coins. So all this will help you to build your new region fleet size. So really, all this will be all important, something you got to really plan for. So having events like this is very great, because you can get lots of coins by using those event coins itself after you have changed your legendary train. Of course, there are people who actually don't bother about these event trains. What they do is they'll just be collecting coins and parts, and that's about it. So that's also another way to play, because they were just thinking that whatever fleet they have is really huge enough. What's the point of getting another legendary train? But of course, for some of us like me, we are collectors of event trains. I really love them. So if you ask me whether is it a strategy to win better if you upgrade all your existing fleet, I would rather go towards collecting all those unique event trains like Samurai and whatnot, because end of the day, it's memorable. I mean, and we know that memorable events itself, like Japan or Peru, allows you to remember, oh, there was some such events previously you actually have played. So this is something different. I mean, yes, of course, I do understand that some people just play by strategy, which is fantastic. Alright, so just want to sum up in terms of preparation. Definitely you gotta prepare good EPs, i.e. those really 3 EP jobs not to collect until start of competition. 2, of course, is to start late but not too late. Try to start like 12 hours late. I think that's good enough. 3, get your factories, be it both events and your so-called core factories, all filled to the brim. And of course, 5, and 4 and 5 to try to upgrade your fleet size, as well as your capacity size. So these are some of the common tips I'll always be sharing. But I think end of the day, if allow me to replay this event, probably I wouldn't want to complete 100%. So this is something I wish to embark on a new strategy in the next event. Alright, thank you for watching. Do like and subscribe. Goodbye.